All right. Well, we got the craziest trucks I've ever seen.
They're the NKP 3-link trucks, so no kingpin. And yeah, so it's got linkages, the spherical here, and a set the sphericals there, and it has 3 links. It's a 3-link truck. And we set it up on this board because I just pressed it, so I've obviously got to, you know, use the board I just pressed. So
it looks amazing.
Yeah.
All right.
So gotta give them a try and see what you think.
Okay. Cool gear.
What are you thinking?
They feel tight.
Yeah, I expect them to feel tight. They're race-oriented trucks, and we've got them on a little cruiser. And then most of the trucks I set up, of course, are really loose.
Yeah.
So most of the stuff I give you is like nothing at all. The sawdust is not the grippiest thing, but it feels really good. Whoop. There's not as much strong return to center as I was expecting. Yeah, you can see it here. And if I push it, it doesn't just
it kind of stays,
back.
yeah.
So that might need to be cranked down or something. It also could be the fact that, you know, this is a different bushing formula than I'm used to.
Yeah.
There's the crank formula, and I like the Riptide pre-lube formula. So they're really slippery and free to move. That helps with this nice return.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really eager to get the chance to try this out more.
Yeah, those are cool.
Sweet. So what I'm really eager to try with these is to hook them up on the street luge.
Oh, that'd be insane.
Because I think they might be good street luge trucks.
Yeah, if they're built for like race cars.
Yeah, and it's just like the luge appreciates precision turning, and on a luge you don't have the level of movement as the rider to influence the trucks. You know, standing up you can lean out, you can move around. On a luge you're so much more limited.
Yeah. And
so every little thing you can do has to have feedback and a result with what happens with the trucks. So
yeah, that'd be a cool configuration.
Yeah.
On the street luge.
So I'll be exploring these trucks a lot more. Probably have a bunch more videos on it, but this is just, you know, just excited to put them on something and try them out. So there we go. All right, so it's the next day. I feel like this grip looks even better the day after. But what I've done is I've taken the bushings off. Most trucks don't let you do this. The bushings are crucial for holding the truck together. But on the trucks that you can take the bushings off, I do like to take the bushings off and ride it like that, because I feel it gives a really good sense of the mechanics of what's going on, you know, without being masked by the resistance. And one of the things that's really interesting about these trucks that I was not expecting at all is that there's actually a fair amount of resistance to movement, you know, without any spring back, just friction resistance, just because of how tight fitting the spherical joints are themselves. They're not just really loose and free, it's a really tight tolerance there. So I'm not sure if that's mostly because they're just new, or if it'll break in after a little bit, or if it'll break in after a really long time, because of the, you know, we're dealing with metal on metal here, and it's already polished, you know. But that would have been one of the main reasons why when I had the bushings on there and you pushed it down, it wouldn't necessarily spring back to exactly straight, because the resistance of the bushing was less near the center, so it wasn't overcoming the friction of the bearings. So that's one interesting thing, and that's neither good nor bad. That just explains something I was observing earlier and makes it make more sense. So without resistance, almost no boards allow you to push very easily. You don't have enough strength in your ankle to really correct it in that orientation. But you should have control standing sideways. So let's take it down the hill. As ever, I'd be way more comfortable with this without a camera in my hand, but it's fine. This isn't bad. I wouldn't want to go fast with the camera, but I can definitely carve. It has a definite feel of a rakeless truck. It's got this real how would I say? Yeah, the turning is really controlled. You just have to be not overcorrecting. When it's moving, it's easy just to stand on top of it. You don't really need the resistance to pop you back up. You can just pop your ankles straight and you're back on top again. But yet again, I'm not sure how fast I could go on this. I'm going really slow now because of how much I've been carving. Probably only like 7 miles an hour. It feels really good just doing these light carving like this. Like it's very comfortable. So I think that's about as fast or as aggressive as I dare go on these trucks at the moment, because these collars here are only held in place right now with these bolts, which are acting as set pins in the slots. And yeah, in order to go like full aggressive mode, even without bushings, I'd really want to have some nuts to hold the collars in place, so they can't slide, because that'll throw you off. So normally, yeah, it's got the bushing on the inside, and it's got this domed interior and flat exterior to hug the spherical. It's got the washer outside of that, then comes the collar, and then the nut. Whoops. There's the nut. So yeah, that's kind of this is the skeletonized version of it. So one of the other things that becomes really apparent without any resistance is how far the trucks will lean. And you know, you may have gathered from my other videos that I really like to be able to lean a lot and turn a lot, and these trucks definitely don't lean as much as I would like. Not just like me consciously, but like I'm trying to carve and push more. And on a kingpin truck, you can always push a little harder and get a little more out of it. But in this setup, I'm definitely finding myself wanting a bit more. So the limiting factor here for the amount of lean you can get is this spacer nut. And this spacer nut holds the axle center onto this main spherical there. And you can see that little line in it? That line is from where it's biting on the spherical like that. So if there's any way to buy a little bit more clearance along the pivot axis, you get maybe as much as 3-4 degrees extra lean in either direction. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but that's actually a pretty big purchase. So I'm definitely gonna be looking at ways to make that work. So normally when I get a new truck in, I'd like to do a first impressions overview where I kind of break down some of the neat things about the truck and how it works, and you know, try to make an explanation video as much as I can. I'm not doing that for these because there's so much I want to explore about them, and a lot of things I need to make sure that I understand correctly, because they, you know, as you can probably tell, they're a different flavor of beast here. So I'm gonna get some time on these, and I'm gonna be doing some experimenting. You're gonna see a lot of these probably the next month or two, and then I will have a full review overview video after I'm comfortable, I know exactly what's going on. So there we go. Longboard technology, over and out.